Okay, let's try this again. Hello, and welcome to Thursday Night Live. I'm your host, Dr. Rita Louise, and thank you all for tuning into the show today. Okay, so I think it's going to be an interesting topic tonight, and it is going for the goal and how to do it. Many times we get these ideas of I want to do this, and I'm gonna pick on our good friend Deb. She wants to redo her planting beds, and keeps trying to get me to come help her, which is not happening, Deb. Just in case you're wondering and you're there listening. um, but we get an idea of what we want to do, and we just ruminate about it and we just stare at it and we think about it, but we don't really take any forward motion. We end up totally paralyzed in our own energy, in our own stuff. And we look at this project and we just can't start. And there are a number of things that can keep us in that unable to move forward place. Sometimes our wheels are just rusty. We haven't done something in a long time. And not that this is a goal, and I'm not trying to express it this way, but dating kind of falls into this category. So let's say you've been married for a really long time and you get divorced, or you're in a relationship for a very long time, and you get the feeling like, well, I think it's time for me to start dating again. But it's like you don't know how, because the wheels have gotten rusty inside, because it's a skill set that you really haven't used in a really, really, really long time. And the same thing goes with goals. It's like if we haven't really pursued doing things, then those wheels can get rusty. And not that it's impossible to overcome, but it takes more energy, it takes more momentum, it takes us kind of greasing the wheel so we can move forward in the project. But usually, once we get those wheels moving, things move forward really good along. And this is especially true in people that were goal oriented and had that skill set in the past. But now it's just kind of not working for them. One of the other things that can get in the way of us moving forward toward our goal is fear. We might sit there and go, okay, well, I want to do this, and then we become paralyzed in our own fear. And fear is a good thing. Fear says, well, wait a minute, stop and take a look, and it's a warning, but it shouldn't necessarily be a stop sign. Because sometimes the thing that we want to do, we're really not supposed to be doing it. It's a something that seems good and like, oh well, maybe I should do that now. But the reality is it might not be. It might be the ego talking. It might be somebody else making a comment that we're picking up on that vibration and wanting to move it forward, but it's really not our goal, and it's really not for us. And that can manifest as fear. But there's a lot of different reasons why fear might peek its head. One of the things that I like to suggest to people is, if you're feeling afraid, acknowledge it, be mindful of it, and say, okay, I'm afraid, but what do I need to do now? And what do I need to do next? Kind of take the fear and put it on the shelf over there and have it just kind of hang out with you as you start moving forward. The other thing that can keep people from going for the goal is that they're feeling overwhelmed. Now, that overwhelmed feeling might be from fear, but it might be that they're looking at this thing and going, oh my God, how am I going to achieve that? Because they're going from point A to point Z all at one time. And when you do that, it does just leave you with an overwhelming feeling. So here's the what to do part. If there's something that you really want to do, I have a lot of clients who come to me and there's things they want to do. They want to straighten up their house, they want to paint a room, they want to do stuff, but they don't. They just they just sit and stare at it and then feel guilty because they haven't done these things that they've been thinking about for months or years, literally years. So the first thing is take a breath. Take a nice deep breath and quiet your mind and ask yourself, is this really right for me? Kind of knock that out of the park. Um, or is this right for me to do at this point in time? Um, but become mindful of, again, is this an ego thing or is this something that is being given to you from spirit? Because if it's being given to you from spirit, even though you might not be moving forward, there's a really good feeling tied to it. There's an aliveness, a passionateness that is wanting to propel you to move forward. And then it hits your own stuff and it kind of gets stopped. But there is this good feeling about it versus a sense of dread. And if you're thinking about doing something and you're getting a sense of dread, separate out. Is it this fear? Is it the overwhelm? Or maybe I'm not supposed to be doing it in the first place, which is an okay thing because then you can just scratch it off the list and go, okay, I'm just not doing that. And that's fine. Again, check out if you're scared. Um, and then the other thing, and one of the most important things that I find with people is that feeling of overwhelm. Um, and here's the trick. Here's just a secret with all of this, the fear, the overwhelm, all of it. Even if it's not something you're supposed to be doing, sometimes when you start taking steps to achieve it, you also get clarity with it. So my recommendation is take smaller steps. Break down the project. Instead of going from A to Z, go from A to B. Go from A to A 1.1 to A 1.2. Whatever that step is for you. Ask yourself, well, what can I do today? Or what can I do right now? Sometimes just making a phone call or looking up something online is a step moving forward. So it doesn't have to be this big thing that you're doing and this overwhelming achievement that you're accomplishing in one single day. It could be something that simple. It could be sorting out the papers that you need to go through to work on a project. Whatever it is, break it down into small parts. One of the I'm going to dish here. So I have a client who has moved into a house a number of years ago, and there are just boxes still laying around that haven't been unpacked. And it frustrates her because there's boxes laying around that still haven't been unpacked. And I told her, I'm like, you're overwhelmed by all the boxes. I go, so pick one box a day, pick one box a week that you go through, decide if you're going to keep the stuff, put the stuff away, make some decision and unload that box, because every small step will move you closer to your goal. It'll get you out of park or neutral or whatever place you're in and get you closer and closer to that thing that you want. Because really, if it's a goal, or something that you're being led to by spirit, it's what's going to give you happiness. It's what's going to make you feel good. So why beat yourself up for not doing it if it's something that you kind of really want to do or that's important to you? which I always find interesting. It's like, okay, I'm beating myself up for not doing this, but I'm not doing it. So, and what you'll find is if you go and do it, then you won't be beating yourself up over it anymore. And that inner critic that's saying, oh, whatever it's saying, will finally have a chance to go away. Um, but these smaller steps will make it easier for you to digest and for you to accomplish what you're trying to do. So my question to you is, what do you have to do, and what small steps can you take to take this project, this goal, this inspiration, and start moving it forward? Okay. And that's today's Soul Healer moment. And as always, this show is brought to you by me, Dr. Rita Louise at soulhealer.com. If you'd like to schedule a private consultation, just go to my webpage, soulhealer.com, and reach out to me. Check all the stuff out there, which is fun. It's also brought to you by the Institute of Applied Energetics. That's appliedenergeticsinstitute.com. And you can go to that webpage and download the free 50-page Jumpstart Your Intuition guide that will give you practical hands-on tools to start opening the door to your intuition. If you're listening to this show in a recorded format, on Rumble, Twitter, Substack, BitChute, wherever I post it, or on Facebook, and you haven't made it to the live, the easiest place to join in and get a free on-air psychic reading or join the chat is by going to my YouTube page. And that's Just Energy Radio on YouTube. That's Just Energy Radio on YouTube. On Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central, click the live link and it will open up the chat room for you. Okay. So let's get the party started. And you guys kill me. It's like you get here earlier and earlier before I even get here. And I get here usually pretty early. Okay, so Unar, you are number one. Number one. It says, good evening, Dr. Rita and everyone. So nice to be here. May I have a number 3 tonight? You may have a number 3 tonight, Unar. Oh, and just to let you know, I have just released, and I'm going to give you the title of it, section 2 of my new article entitled Google's Health Heist, How Big Tech Stole My Voice and Yours. And it's available on my Substack page, which is Dr. Rita Louise at Substack. But I've been posting it around. I've been posting it on Facebook, Twitter, the different platforms. And it really looks at what's going on behind the scenes at Google. And this is especially important if you run a website that covers any kind of controversial material, including, talking about alternative health, UFOs, ancient aliens, reptilians, 9/11, any of the stuff that y'all would come here for. It is applicable to you and your webpage and your business success. Hopefully business success. Anyway, so Unar, this is your card for today. Okay. Why is this being weird? I don't know. Okay. So Unar, this is really kind of interesting. I feel like, and this is pretty recent, I'm going to say the last few days, give or take, that you were given a choice. And it wasn't necessarily really presented as a choice. It was more like, well, you need to do this. Couched in it's a choice. And I feel like you chose you. And I feel like with you choosing you, you also accepted the consequences of that decision. But I feel like you're owning it. I feel like you're happy with it. And I feel like you feel more empowered by making it. So whatever that decision was about, and let me know in the comments below. Good job. Good job. Okay. Master Player is next, and he says, "Evening, make me a number 3 as well, please." You sure can. Okay, and this is your card for today. So, Master Player, this is an interesting energy that I'm detecting around you, but I'm feeling like you're feeling like you're kind of caged up. I feel like you want to run around and be free. I feel like you or your energy feels suppressed. Um, I feel like there's confusion about how to change it and how to shift it. I feel like, on your perspective, there's not a whole lot of choice going on, which is really irritating and upsetting to you. Um, and I feel like, and I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to go with this, that the idea of surrendering is really not on the table, so it's just leaving you angry. I mean, without knowing more detail about what this is, I can't really provide additional guidance, and at this point in time, there might not be anything that you can do other than be angry. um, Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Okay. ERRT Radio. Hey, ERRT Radio. Happy Thursday. Live, Dr. Rita. May I have a reading number 3, please? Thank you. And you sure can. If I didn't drop the cards all on the floor. Okay, and this is your card for today. Okay, so the sense that I'm getting is you've been kind of playing around with a bunch of different things, trying different things on for size, which is great. I always encourage people, if you're not quite sure what direction to head or what choice to make, to try different things on for size, to kind of feel into the energy of what it is. I want to suggest that you maybe don't even have to go that far. I feel like you're intuitive enough that you can feel into it, and narrow down the choices that are being presented versus spending so much time and energy in it. Um, the second piece that I'm putting out there is, I feel like you're not digging any of the choices that are being presented to you right now. And I keep talking to you about ego, and I feel like the choices that are being presented are all ego driven choices and not coming from spirit. So that might be something you want to consider as you're looking at these different things. All righty. And as always, if this reading makes sense to you and is resonating with you, please do make a comment below. You could also leave me a little something in my tip jar, which is at soulhealer.com/live, soulhealer.com/live. I would love you for it. All right, back to Amy. And she says, hi, Dr. Rita. May I have a reading, please? Number 3. You sure can, Amy. All right, Amy, let's see. All right, that's your card for today. Okay, well, this is just kind of weird. The first thing that you're showing me is I feel like you feel like you're way over there, like living on Antarctica and there's not anyone else around. And there's part of you that finds it very peaceful and wonderful, just kind of being in your own space. But I feel like there's also this a little bit disarming quality to it because you're on Antarctica in your own space and there's not anybody around. And the penguins aren't really any help. And I feel like you're being a bit challenged. I'm going to say it this way, a bit challenged in being in your own zen and being in the world with other people. And how do you sit there and justify and make both of those work? And I would like to suggest, kind of based on what I'm seeing, is that you just make sure that you take that quiet time for yourself, lock yourself up in your room, go for a walk, go sit in your car, whatever it is that you need to do in order to create that Antarctica space for yourself. And if that's every few days, that's great. But if it's every day, if it's a couple of times a day, that's okay too, because what you're doing is working on your space and having your space be comfortable for you. But again, I feel like the biggest thing is, how do you make both of those work in your daily life? And again, my response is by making sure you heavily invest, like your priority should be in having that quiet time. Not that it overrides everything else, but that so that you can have that break and find that inner peace and that present moment within yourself. Cool, Amy. Okay. Hey, Veronica. Hey, Christine. Hello, may I have a reading number 1? You sure can. All right, Christine, and this is your card for today. So, Christine, I'm not really sure what is going on right now that is creating the situation. And I don't really like predict the future, but this is a little bit predicting the future. But I feel like one of the things that's coming up for you is kind of this aha moment. So I don't know if you're like digging into yourself or trying to understand something one way or the other. I feel like the answer, the secret, the piece of the puzzle that's been missing for a while is going to make itself known to you. And you're going to sit there and be like, oh, or ah. And so I hope you just hear it and acknowledge it, because you've been waiting for it for a while. So good job. Okay. Amy says, if you can't beat him, join him. Hey, Don. And Don says, hi, Dr. Rita, I'm here. Hey, Don, I know. Could I get a reading number 1? Love D. You sure can. All right, Don. All right, and that's your card for today. So, Don, I mean, I'm going to say your energy looks like it's in a pretty good space today. I feel like you are. I'm going to phrase this in a different way. I feel like you're moving from living in the past to moving into living in the future, or moving with I'm going to have a life and I'm going to set some goals and I'm going to do these things. Not that it's like overt and grandiose, but I feel like there's just really been a shift from this very introverted victim me energy to there's some light. And now that there's some light, I can move forward in the sunshine. So, so I hope you heard the beginning of the show today about going for your goals, because I think it would be very appropriate for you today. All right. Hey, Nina. So nice for you to come. Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Ohura. Hey, Ohura. Hey, Yvonne. May I get a reading number 2? You sure can. Reading number 2. And this is your card for today. So, Yvonne, I feel like you've got to the place where it's kind of like screw it, although not that bad, but you have decided to surrender to what's going on. I feel like there is more peace in your space right now. I get it that you're not used to having it be that way, to having it be kind of calm and zen, because you're used to having things moving forward and working on stuff and go, go, go. Enjoy it. Enjoy the calm. It's your time to rest and recuperate and give to yourself. Okay? All right. Veronica liked the topic, so yay. And then O'Hora says, hello, dear Dr. Rita. Thanks for the wise insights. May I have a reading, please? Number 2. Thanks to you and cheers to you. You sure can, O'Hora. Okay, and that's your card for today. So, Hora, one of the things that I'm seeing around you is kind of, I'm going to say, this like depressed kind of energy that you want to just go hide. What they're saying to me is when you're feeling that energy, it's time to work on transmuting it. It's time to start acknowledging that energy, and come more to a place of gratitude, more to a place of a new beginning, more to a place of what do I need to do to open myself up more. Usually when you hit that energy, it really is a time for some nurturing. I just feel like, that you want transformation to happen, but that's the ego saying, I want transformation to happen, versus you just being in it And with it, and it's interesting because I feel like you ask what you're supposed to do and where am I supposed to head, but I feel like you're not really liking the answers that you're getting. And so you're not paying attention to them and you're not doing them. Please, please, please comment below if that's making sense to you. Okay, it's Mr. B and friends. Hey, Mr. B. All right, Don says, I've been divorced since 1997, have only dated 2 times since. I just never found anyone that really makes me feel like being with again. But now I'm too old at 73. Don, you're never too old to have a little lady friend, in my opinion. Hey, Sarah, let's see. Oh, Veronica says Dr. Rita is an awesome Rita. Thank you, Veronica. Wow, we got Mark Eddy in the house. Hey, Mark Eddy. I need to talk to you. So message me like maybe tomorrow or something so we could talk. Okay, so Sarah says, am I on the wrong thing? I want to pick a number 2. Okay, Sarah, so I'm just gonna pick a number for you, and I'm gonna pick a 2. You're getting a 2. 2, 2, 2. Yeah, because I'm that psychic that I can see behind the screen to people that are just lurking in the background, that they're lurking in the background and they're not actually posting in the chat. Sarah. Okay, but you're getting a 2. All right, but it's going to be a 2 starting now. Okay. Ooh, not liking that for you. That's your card for today. Okay. Interesting. So, Sarah, one of the things that you're showing me is that there's you, you know, who you are, and then there's the crowd and the faces of everybody else. Sorry, that's faux Bitsy. Everybody else around you, and there's part of you that's trying to be and stay within the status quo and not stand out and and be this weirdo. Oop, too late. You know what? Own the weirdo. Own who you are. You're an amazing person, and you're gonna stand out from the crowd just by you being you, and there's not anything that you can do to stop it. So stop holding yourself back and just be. Hey, Deb. All right, so Deb, and I'm getting close to the end. Do you want a reading? And does that man child of yours want a reading? Or do you want me to do a reading for the man child? And if you want me to do a reading for the man child, give me a number. Okay. All right. Master Player says, you just summed up my week right there. Thank you. You're welcome, Master Player. Hi, Nancy. Hey, you got here early. You might even get a reading today. Unar says, thanks, Dr. Rita. I always enjoy your readings. They make me think, and that's a good thing. I love your subjects too. Thank you, Unar. Oh, so Sarah, sorry, I gave you a number 2. And then she wants to know, why do we all choose 3? I don't know why everybody chooses 3. I mean, I always pick 3, but you got a 2 because you have to stand out from the crowd. And it's not that you have to stand out from the crowd. You do automatically stand out from the crowd. So stop trying to hide yourself. ERRT Radio said, thank you, Dr. Rita. Right on point again. Hey, Ricky says, hello, Dr. Rita. Dear, happy Thursday evening. May I have a number 1 reading, please? Thank you so much. You sure can. Number 1. Okay, Ricky. No, we're going with that one. That's your card for today. Ricky, I'm feeling like there's an opportunity that has presented itself to you. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's resonating with you. Like you feel like it's a good opportunity. And so I just say, go for it. Um, I'm not really sensing that there's anything around it that is holding you back from doing it or having it. Mm, other than you taking the step forward and owning it. That's all I got. Sorry, all I got. So do it. Do it. Amy says, reading is right on target again. Great advice. Thank you. Heading for the tip jar. Thank you, Amy. Amy is always so good. She always like leaves a little something, something in that tip jar for me, which I really appreciate every week. All right. All right. So Sarah says, do I need to go to YouTube? I'm confused. Sarah, if you're hearing me, then you're fine. Oh. Okay, so Sarah, if people are on Facebook, only Facebook people can see Facebook people. If you're on YouTube, only YouTube people can see people on YouTube. And so that might be where some of the confusion is that you're not seeing all of the comments, because they don't blend in the different ones. There tend to be, and I'm just going to say this, more people that are on YouTube than are on Facebook. But I read most of the stuff out loud. Well, unless Marco's here and there's a whole bunch of commentary going on. Okay. Deb says, you don't have to. She's seen comments from several platforms. She'll get to you. Oh, yeah, already. I'm explaining that. Okay. Dawn says, thank you. I'm trying your show and you mean a lot to me in my life. So glad that I get to be here. Dawn, I just really appreciate you. And I keep saying this, I keep seeing that so many changes inside of you that it's just amazing and profound. So thank you for coming here every week, and I love having you be here. All right. All right, I don't know what that means. Okay, Ahura says, it made sense to some extent. I wish to offer my hand for a volunteer service to a community. I'm not sure about my ability, and I'm not sure if they would take my offer. Okay. Okay, so this is just my 2 cents, now whether this is true in this situation or not, but when you're a volunteer, you're volunteering, and it would only make sense that they would make certain accommodations for you and your skill set and your ability to participate, because it's free. And as I like to say, free is free, and you can't really look free in the face and go, oh, well, you suck, because it's free. Anyway. Okay, so Deb says, I'll take one if you have time. Girl, I always have time for you. Okay. You need to give me a number. So you are, all right, I'm going to clear them, and then you're getting one. They're telling me a one for you today. All right, and now the Deb shuffle. Okay, and that's your card for today. Well, this is interesting. I mean, I feel like your body is going through a lot of releasing right now. I know you too well, and I know everything going on in your life and then some. But I feel like all of the things that were like making you crazy are having the opportunity to start coming off and making it so that you're not being as reactive, because it was like there were all these things going on and your body was just tensing up and holding on to all of that at the same time. And now it is finally starting to let go and release. I feel like it's not a super fast process. It's going to be a week or 2 weeks before this cycle, and I'm just going to call it a cycle, for that to complete. And I feel like it's giving you the opportunity to open some new doors for for new good things to come in versus just crap, 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 crap. Because if you weren't releasing, you would stay in that crap cycle. But with the releasing, it's allowing room for new growth and new you. Yay! Yay! Okay, and I'm going to do one for that man child just because I can. And he's going to get a 3. Okay, and that's his card for today. Um, well, that's kind of interesting. All right, so I'm just going to hold this up. So one of the images is these tires rolling down this hill, which seems kind of appropriate. But it's interesting because I feel like in his own way, he's kind of looking at his life, looking at his choices, actually looking toward the future. Not his best thing that he does. Okay, this is good. You might get him a little journaling notebook, so that he can use that to kind of help him move forward. Not with what's going on with him functionally, but with what's going on inside. I feel like there's a lot that happens, but it's hard for him to really grasp onto it and hold it and process it on a deeper level. And so that might give him a tool to work with that he can get a little deeper and then look at it and, have it go from being so deep inside of him out into the universe. Doesn't need to be anything fancy, but something that is like, I just use freaking notebooks, something a little nicer than that. And manly. Got to be manly. Anyway. Okay, a horse says, thanks. Hi, Deborah. Nice to see you. And then Sarah says, can I say hi to June? Don't know who June is, but hi, June. Oh, she's the one lurking over my shoulder. Hi, June. Nice to meet you. Junebug. All right, Sarah, you got me confused. Okay, Unar says, I'm having trouble finding your tip jar. Don't know where to go once I'm on your site. Okay, so Unar, you go to soulhealer.com and then there's the /live at the top, or go to soulhealer.com/live and that'll take you to the page. And so there's an opportunity to use PayPal. There's just a link that says use PayPal, or you can use the shopping carts that will take you through my payment process that takes like Visa, MasterCard, that kind of thing. But soulhealer.com/live. Okay, so Deborah says, I'm here, not sure what's up. Okay. All right, Sarah, I'm not understanding you. Okay, oh. All right, so that's the end of the list. So anybody else that hasn't asked for a reading want to get a reading? And I'm really not ready to go quite yet. So what are you guys all working on? What kind of goals or tasks or projects do you have in your future? So, I keep talking about my house project. We laid floor last week, and so that's done except for one piece of trim molding. And yes, today it was so much fun. I got to scrape paint off of the exterior windows. That was today's project, because if I looked at this whole house project as one giant lump, it would have been overwhelming. And every day I will sit there and go, okay, so what am I working on tomorrow? What am I working on tomorrow? Or what do I need to do? Okay, this is how I'm going to schedule it out. But it's never, I have all these things to do, because when I look at it from that perspective, it's freaking depressing. Okay, Nina's here. And she wants a 3. You sure can, Nina. Okay, and that's your card for today. So Nina, this is kind of interesting, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but I feel like you're carrying this energy of like exit stage left. I feel like you are ready to leave a situation. I'm feeling it more either relationship wise or location wise, and kind of go on an adventure. I feel like you want to become the navigator of your own life. I feel like you have not been, and you just want to be free. And I feel like you keep moving closer to that. I feel like you are working in the background about what do I need to do to make that happen. Um, and just the fact that it didn't happen today or isn't going to happen tomorrow, that's okay, because I do feel like you are taking small steps, like I talked about at the beginning of the show, to have that goal, have that dream become your reality. So good, just keep doing that. Let's see. So Deborah says, my ump has gone. Nothing interests me. What about a card? Probably going to get a mass card. All right, you didn't give me a number. I'm going to do a 3 for you. Okay, and that's your card for today. Wow. Okay. So, Deborah, I'm going to say something and it's going to come out really kind of blunt, but it is what it is. I feel like you have one mode. What can I do to give to other people? And I feel like all of the has gone out into taking care of other people, external to you, external to you, external to you. And when I turn that around and go, well, what do I want? It's kind of like deer in the headlight kind of thing, where you don't know. You don't know what that would be or what that would feel like. And there's a lot of energy around that, guilt and stuff. There's just stuff sitting around that. So if you don't know what interests you, then ask yourself, what do I want to do today? Or what do I want to do this week? Or what is my next move? And with based on what I'm seeing, you know, little baby steps would be appropriate. Go take a bath, read a book, take yourselves to Starbucks. Um, Anything that is you asking yourself and then you doing what you want for you. This is unexplored territory. And I think it would be very healing for you, and it would start repaying that piggy bank that you have emptied the coffers of. There you go. All right. All right. So Gary, hey Gary, he would like a number 2. Oh, that would be me. Sometimes I don't get all my tabs muted. All right. All right, Gary, number 2. Uh-oh. All right, Gary, that's your card for today. So, Gary, this is kind of interesting. I just feel like you are kind of in an environment with a lot of drama that you're not particularly digging. I feel like you feel like you don't have a choice and you have to stay and endure what's going on. I feel like you have tried to intervene and that has only ever made matters worse. Um, I'm just feeling like it's a no Gary win kind of situation. Um, I mean, based on what I'm seeing, my commentary is maybe you need to take a step back and look at that choice of, is this really someplace that I want to be? Is this someplace that I need to be? Is this someplace that I have to be? Um, and go from there. Because if you come to the realization that this is someplace that you have to be, like you really can't change the situation, then I would suggest, working on addressing tools that will help you to surrender to what is going on or not take the energy on so that it's affecting you so badly so that you can find more peace in your everyday life or in this situation. Okay? And then Nina says, thanks for the reassurance. You're so welcome. And Deborah says, you hit it on the head. I don't do it for me. I'm like, I know, but you'll feel so much better if you start doing it for you, and it'll give you something to do. So every day, once a week, I don't care, something for you. It'll make you, just do it. Damn it. Dr. Rita says, just do it. Okay. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it here. As always, if you would like to schedule a private consultation with me, visit my webpage, soulhealer.com. That's soulhealer.com. While you're there, you can leave a little something in that tip jar. One of the things also, I would love it if you went to my different social media and like and subscribe and set up the notifications. It's Just Energy Radio on YouTube. It is Dr. Rita Louise Live on Facebook. It's Psychic Doc on Rumble. It's Dr. Rita Louise on BitChute, Dr. Rita Louise on Twitter. And I now have a Substack account where I'm posting to, which is Dr. Rita Louise on Substack. I have been posting the articles on Facebook. I'm releasing a 7-part series. I just released part 2 of the series. And it is again entitled Google's Health Heist, How Big Tech Stole My Voice and Yours. Anyway, guys, I gotta put myself back on. There we go. There we go. Too many buttons. Okay, I'm gonna go. I will see you all next week. So till then, I'm Dr. Rita Louise. This is Thursday Night Live. Be blessed.